Warning! The following program contains elements of irrational behaviour. Please do not attempt to contact the proper authorities, as most of the behaviour is in fact intentional and meant solely for the purposes of entertainment. Looney XP is not responsible for any behaviour the show may influence, such as eating dog food, consuming large quantities of sugar, caffeine or alcohol, and she is definitely not responsible for any of the mistreatment of plants. Please watch at your own risk. Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Locking It Down with Lucy. Look, based on that, thank you so much for that warning message written by Jose. Thank you kindly. I'd just like to point out the plant comment, just quickly, calling out plants. I mean, don't report me to the RSPCA, which I'm sure there's a plant, affiliation, association, splinter group. I'm sure they're out there. What would you call them? Rescue Services. What does the P stand for in RSPCA? Pets? Service? No, I don't know. But here, look, rhubarb. There's some growth. Rhubarb be growing again. 'Cause I'll be growing in the rain. But no green plants. Is this just what happens to plants? Like, eventually the cool bits just is a bit dusty, old rhubarb. Whew. When you have to undust your plants, lad, to everybody. Don't know when. Let me feel. Oh, did you know what? Let's do some plant keeping. Plant keeping with Lucy. I'm not going to do a Max Caulfield and shove soda. Let's see. Ready? Look. I do look after my plants when prompted and reminded. Ta-da! Cheers. So, there they are. Little rhubarb's doing all right. Let's not look at Stax. Stax is not doing too hot. Let's put that over there. Let's sit back down. Oh, as I almost ran over my foot. Youk, that hurt. Youk, I don't know where that comes from. Yowza, as the doctor would say. Right, shall we start the show? Shall I have a look at the comments? Because otherwise I'm just ranting to my own self. I'm just going to ignore the throbbing pain in my foot. What's going on? So hello everybody, thank you so much for choosing to spend another Thursday in somewhat semi-purgatory lockdown. That's what I feel like we're in now. We're in purgatory lockdown. Is it lockdown? Is it not? Hey, next week, good news. We can give cautious hugs here in the UK. Now, I'm not really sure what a cautious hug is, but I'm imagining it's a bit like, for wrestling fans, that bit with Daniel Bryan and Kane when they're in the ring and it's Team Hell No, and everyone's like, yes, 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 because they need to hug it out, and they're both going, oh, 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 and they're like making their way, and they're not really sure if they should hug or not, and everyone's like, go on, yeah, everyone just wants them to hug so badly, and eventually they're like, yeah, and the crowd goes wild. So that's going to be me next week, doing a bit of the old cautious hugging, like a crab trying to, navigate the streets. Not going to be hugging everybody, obviously. I never hugged people originally, to be fair. I don't know. I've just jumped on the hug train. Whoa! So, a bit like the Twitch train, hype train, maybe. I'm not sure. To be honest, everybody, if you hug me, it's pretty much the same experience as hugging a broomstick or a hat stand. So, if you would like to experience hugging me, just hug your local broomstick, and I'm sure you'll get the same experience. I'm like, ugh. Actually, it's a bit like a hat stand, because I'll just go, hey, there you go. Enjoy that. I haven't even said hello to anybody. I've just spoke. It's been a busy old day today, everybody, and I'm sorry. I also cracked open the Coke without you, because I needed to... I was working until at least 7:15 today. Oh! What a day. I don't even think I took a lunch break. That's how much stuff there was to do. So, reset button. Let me press... If I was going to press my reset button, on old electronics where you have to find that little tiny, hole, and you've got to, get, a needle or something. Yeah, okay, I've reset myself. Reset yourself. So, we have Vault Boy Steve. Hello, thank you so much. Chris J. I'm just scrolling way back in the chat. I don't even know what's happening right now. Robert War, hi. We've got Ryan, we've got Miles, we've got Bethany. Hello. You do a pat. Oh, that's Bethany talking about my hug style. There, I'm sure. I'm a firebolt. Because, baby, you're a firebolt. I'm sure Katy Perry, that's what she really meant. We've also got Gafferman, hello. Caitlin, hi. Jose, hi. How's it going? Luke, hello. Adam, hi. Gypsy Muffin, hello. Corey, hi. Slyglass Fox, welcome. Fabio, hi. I'm glad that everybody is present and well for the old roll call. So, what have we got coming on the show today? Woof. We have, obviously, the highlights and lowlights of the week, so think about yours this week. Mine are somewhat interesting, I suppose. Then, of course, Flip of the Week as always. And then we can talk about the hot news, which is the PlayStation 5 controllers. Ooh! So pledge your allegiance now to what colour you would like to have, or if you want to have both, just, be that Flash with the cash. I don't care. And then, of course, what have I been playing and what have I been watching? And at the end, I will be showing off my WWE signs that I had. Don't know why I said WWE, but sometimes you've got to put a little bit of on the W. Okay? Want to get that W. Which I don't know how I'm going to do, because I got them out of a very dusty place, and I'm surprised that they've not rotted to hell, to be honest. Right, so, well, everybody's talking about Bugsnax. Are they still talking about Bugsnax? Everyone's talking about the controllers. You know what? Scrap the thing. We'll come back to this. Controllers, it's the hot topic. Released today. Announced. Not released. I don't actually know when they're released, to be honest. What's everyone's thinking? What's your vibe? Everybody back in the day was like, white controllers? What kind of madness is this? I hope it comes. Much like Batman. Does it come in black? And now PlayStation have replied and said, yes, it comes in black. That's not how Morgan Freeman talks at all. Like, Mr. Wayne, yes, it does come. I can't remember how I did my Morgan Freeman before. I can't remember it now. I quite like the white controller still, to be fair. I do. They've got interesting names, so it's like Cosmic Red, ooh, and Midnight Black. I think I'd probably be boring and go for the Midnight Black, perhaps. Like, I do like the red, but I need to see the red in person, to be honest, because, what kind of red are we talking here? Because Cosmic Red, I don't really have many touch points for that. What's the hex colour for that? What's the RGB? What's the Pantone? I don't know. Alright, is it as red as Rhubarb's leaves? Or is it going to be more of a plummy red? I don't know. Whereas a black one would be fine. I would like a new gifted one from you, the one Chris Soul, says Beth. Sure. If I can get my hands on one, then you can have a very early Christmas present. To be honest, I'm like dying in controllers over here. Well, mainly PS4 ones, so don't let me... They might be sad that, no, my master, she's chosen another controller. Yeah, because Bethany, I bought her a PS4 controller and they sold it. Very nice of them, wasn't it? So happy, just booked my first cinema trip in about 7 months, says Ian Graham. Well, that's fun. The red one looks pinkish, says Luke. Interesting. The red one looks a tad weird. So everyone else thinks the red one looks a bit weird. Since the buttons blend in too well, says Voltboy Steve. Oh, Adam W with the hex value code. Thank you so much, sir. So that is, for those of you who would like to know the hex code, I'm not sure how, I don't know if you've just found this, but it is hashtag S71E4C. Thank you. Doing God's work for the designers. Chris sold the controller. I know, right? Imagine not even selling your own gift. You're selling your partner's gift. That's another level, Chris. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would dabble in a bit of the Midnight Black. That sounds a bit interesting. But then, will it go with the aesthetic I've got going on? I don't know. Or maybe you should be a bit out there, rebellious, and go for red. So everybody, put in the comments now. Are you Team Red or Team Blue? Don't know why I've got to do a bit of the old Daniel Bryan. I don't know if you could put like emojis to signify colour. I don't know, the wonderful ways of technology. I don't know. If you do know, then do. Okay, so we've got red, Midnight Black, red, blue, question mark, black, red, both. Ooh, Luke the baller with both. Red, we got a lot of red. People, Team Red. Oh, Sir Dave brings it out of the park. Miles is saying black. Red, blue, black. See, I think as well, with the black, the blue light kind of like, it just pops a bit more. But then again, the light isn't always blue. It can be other colours. The lack of blue is worrying Team PlayStation. Perhaps. Okay, cool. Fly Highland wants purple. If you could have any colour controller, what colour would you get, I suppose? I don't know. So I think they had really interesting colours on the PS4. Like, I always wanted the orange one, the sunset orange controller. I thought that looked out. Because it was like orange, but then the buttons and the analog stick was like a kind of like purpley colour. And I thought, that's a sexy ass controller right there. Those are some colours that they are mixing. I do very much like my berry blue. My berry blue controller's up there. I can't grab it for you. PS1 grey. Yes. I would like grey with Mickey faces. Yeah, Bethany's all about the Disney. Actually, that would be not. Actually, that would go really well. Should we pick up a controller? Pick up a controller. Let's not pick up a controller because they're all hooked into the mainframe and something might disappear. But I do think a a PlayStation 1 grey would be really nice. Neon yellow and neon orange. Now I will say, I don't own a Switch, surprise, surprise, but I do like the colours that they have for the joysticks. What they call, no, not the joysticks, the joy things. What are they? They just bring joy, I guess. So there's like the neon yellow and the neon green, and then that sort of popping neon pink watermelon, I think they're called. Those are really nice. I like those a lot. The Joy-Cons, of course. There we go. You can tell I don't play Nintendo. I don't know the lingo. So I like those colours. The thing is, I love Post-it note colours. So my favourite colour palette would have to be, if I was going to be a designer, my favourite would be the neon colour range from the Post-it notes, followed by the pastel range. I know they're quite diverse and they're quite polar opposite, but, it depends what mood you're in. Sometimes you just need to be shouting and you just need to be like, yes, I'm here, I'm a colour, wow, in your face. But other times you just want to be more chill and relaxed and in the, vibes. So that's how I choose what Post-it notes to pick, and I also don't know what accent this is. It's just gone all over the globe. We're just going to have to accept it. Chrome, interesting. Cool. So now that we've got that chat out of the way, that's one agenda ticked off the items. Let's get into the highlights and lowlights of the week. Valley Girl accent. If I was going to be like a Valley Girl, I'd probably talk more like this. Actually, I don't know where that's from. Is that really the Valley? I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I've been watching a lot of British dramas, so I'm kind of now in more of like not a prim and proper British accent, but one that actually pronounces their T's and maybe also has better pronunciation and what's the word I'm looking for? Well, the word I'm looking for, I don't know, because I'm not from where this accent is from, clearly. So I don't know. I'm just a bit of a chameleon. Depends what I'm watching, and we'll get to that later. What I've been watching. So let's start with lowlights of the week, and it's a gripe that has followed me around a lot. It is the age-old, why is there no pocket depth in women's jeans? Okay, I need a pair of black jeans. My black jeans, I wore them the other day, and my brother was like, are those black or grey? And I was like, oh my god, I'm having a crisis. I don't know. Oh, by the way, sorry, what am I drinking? Pepsi Max. As I said, I cracked it open before you guys. Had a lot to do. Anyways, cheers, whatevs. So, yeah, the never-ending search to find a pair of bloody black jeans. And, I got some, no pockets. It's like, how am I supposed to stick this in... It's just... That's not practical, alright? We're not in the 1950s. I got shit to put in my pockets, man. So, like... And I'm not going to put it in my back pocket because I'm not going to live that life, because I'm going to sit on it. I don't know what's going to happen. I want it in my front pockets. Now, what jeans am I... Actually, the jeans I'm wearing today, I had to modify myself, much like a video game. Let's see. Actually, it's not real testing if I put my hands in my pockets. Put your hands in your... Can I do this? Is this something I could do on YouTube? It's just... Right. Which pocket is this pocket? Right, you ready? Oh, look at that. But like I said, I had to modify them myself. I had to like cut the ends out and buy some handkerchiefs to do that. But yeah, I just like to put things in my pockets. So I don't know, the never-ending search, the quest never ends. Blame the women's purse industrial complex. I've never, in all of my years of being a woman, and it is plentiful, ever owned a purse. Well, other than a little, like, purse, but not like a purse or a handbag, so clearly I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, I know, isn't it? It was a good magic trick, wasn't it? It was like the bit that Joker's like, do you want to see a pencil disappear? If you want to see a pencil disappear, you can just go in my pocket. Lucy, weirdly enough, got me into Pepsi, and now I can't go back to Coke. Yes, Corey! I'm glad to hear that. This is the content you don't get anywhere else. No, it's not, I plan, obviously, every week. Like, what am I going to do this week? I'm going to demo putting my hand in my pocket. Content! Ring me, CBS! I don't know what they do on CBS. Is that the news? I could be on the news for the weirdest stuff that happens live on the internet. So yeah, that's a never-ending struggle, which is annoying. But then I do have another lowlight of the week, which is almost an embarrassing lowlight of the week. So I've been starting to do a bit of flat hunting. That's not the lowlight. The lowlight happens what happened during the flat hunting. So you know, I don't really know what happens in flat hunting. Well, I do now, but at first I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen? So you just go and it's really awkward because you have to meet this, like, stranger, and, yeah, and they're like, hey, you want to see this house? And I'm like, okay, sure. I let my friend Shona do all the talking. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So, we go to this person's house, and, well, I think this is a bunch of flats. It's a big house, and there's, like, three floors, and they've all been broken up into flats, and the stairs are pretty steep. So, of course, you've got your face mask on, and I don't know about you guys, but I find that when you've got your face mask on, your visibility of the, you know, the bottom third of your eyesight, it just goes a bit. You can't really see. So I'm walking up these steps, and they're quite steep, and there's a bunch of them, and I trip. And so I trip on the step, and I'm like, you know when you trip, you're like, not a big deal, I can just correct myself. So, I don't know how to describe it. So I'm walking, trip. And I go to, like, correct myself with the next foot, but the next foot hits the step because they're so steep. And before I know it, I'm like, I'm flat down. I'm face down on the floor. And also, because I'm near the top of the steps, like, here we are. Here's the stairs. I'm walking. Trip, boom. Okay, it's a bit like, and it was trip, boom. And I'm just on the floor. And the estate agent's like, oh my God, are you okay? Because he's up the next steps. And I'm like, yes, I'm okay. But I literally went, boom. And I had, like, a bruise on my arm. I don't think you can see it anymore, but that was from the falling over experience. So I was kind of like, this was before I even saw the flat, and I was like, it's not really going to be the one I don't think. It's not a good sign, because I might have to become one of those, like, old people with, like, a, what's it called? My nan's got one where or my gran even, she, you know, put it around and then you beep it when you've had a fall. So I'd have to, like, call my friends, and they'd be like, Lucy, have you had a fall? And I was like, yes, I'm on with all the shopping. So I think the estate agent already probably knew it was not going to go well. The other thing that was weird about this flat, also flats are weird. Because you just walk in, you have to walk around and go, yeah, cool, thanks. Don't really know what to say. I was just like, my main thing is that I need, like, a place to put my desk, because I want to, like, have a proper setup. And so a lot of these places, it was just like, there was not that for it. So they had this, like, I was looking around, and there was, like, a light switch above the door. And I was like, what's that light switch for? And he's like, oh, let me find out. So he clicks it, and it's, like, the extractor fan. And then my friend Shona was like, can you even reach that? And I was like, no, I can't reach it. So it was pretty much a bust. But the other place we went to, which was quite interesting, it was one of those, such an interesting space to work with, aka small and oddly shaped, but you just have to work with it. So the guy we meet is very nice, and he was talking about, I don't know if you guys are into video games or anything, but the people that own this house are really into games. And I was like, oh, that's cool, I like games too. And he was like, yeah, they've got some really cool artwork. They've got this big poster of Link and his horse. I don't know the name of the horse, someone will have to tell me. So, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So I go in, and yes, the people have a PS5. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. They've got a PS5 for a start. They did have some video game sort of stuff on the walls. And I went up to the bedroom bit. It was a mezzanine. And a mezzanine is where you've got, like, a little, like, balcony bit. So you walk up the steps and you go to the balcony bit where the bed is. And he's like, look, there's the poster of Link. And I look at it, and I'm like, no, that's Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2 on her horse. And he's like, oh yeah, there's a car in the background. I was like, what? Like, I can understand, perhaps. It was like that famous picture of Ellie. You know, the one where it's like, but the other way round. You know, so you couldn't see it was Ellie's face, but it's the one which is in Seattle in that open world area, and it's all, like, broken down. Also, what does the back of my head look like? That would be weird. Have you ever thought about if you were another person, you could see what the back of yourself looked like? Would it be horrifying? I'm not sure. Perhaps. I always think that my hair just probably looks really bad at the back. Probably does, to be honest. So, yeah, that was quite a funny experience. So I'm going to do some more flat hunting, because clearly I didn't find the one. I need all the space to put my physical media. I just need all the space to just put my life. I don't have much. Luke lying on the floor. I'll take it! Yeah, because I like to live dangerously. Oh, yeah, it's one of those panic buttons, yeah. So yeah, probably confusing Ellie for Link. I know, right? It was interesting, but I was like, you know what? You can't bullshit me when it comes to PlayStation. I know a thing or two, and I know an Ellie when I see an Ellie. So yeah, those are my low light of the week was, yeah, falling over. It's just in typical. The other funny thing was because I was like walking around looking at the flat, and you know when you're just like trying so hard not to laugh. There was one point he's like, so if you look at the oven, I went, ah! I was like, sorry, I'm still laughing about falling over. So I just go, have you ever done that? I did it on the bus once. Once I was on the bus and I was like, nah. I just couldn't not keep the laughing. And there was another time, I'm pretty sure, when I was on the bus and I was listening to a podcast and it was with David Tennant and someone, and they were having a like chuckle to themselves, and so they always like saying something funny and I'm laughing and the Oyster card person comes like, can I see your Oyster card? And I'm like, yes. So I don't know if that happens to anybody else, or if you, sometimes I'll just grin when something funny happens. I'm like, and people must be like, what is she doing? I'm just a nutter, clearly. Epona is the name of the horse. All right, thank you, Nintendo fans, keeping me honest that I don't know anything about Nintendo. So let's have a look at some of your lowlights and highlights of the week. I'm going to scroll back through the chat because when I talk, so this, I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but when I talk and explain like a situation that has happened, I like go there in my mind. So my eyes are like, you know, there's something in your mind called your like inner eye. I use a lot of my inner eye, so I'm like recalling stories, but I'm seeing them. Hence why I'm not seeing what is going on. If that makes any sense. I don't know. So let's have a look. I hope there was CCTV there so we can see one Britain's wackiest house hunters. Gee, is that a thing? Is that a thing? Lucy out in the wilds following the tracks of a flat. I am indeed. Using my focus or whatever, or my detective vision to see footprints on the floor and follow the thing. Resi Raider says highlight is eating pizza right now. Nice. I like a bit of pizza eating. The highlight of the week for Pasha Sunny says the weather is a fine 26 degrees Celsius. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. That sounds good. It's always just raining over here. This is the worst year ever for rain in May, but yet we've always got it. Let's see. Sam says highlight of the week was I managed to get just below 10% body fat after trying for ages. Muscles, which I don't have. Very good. Nice. Congratulations. I'm glad. Corey says highlight of the week was Uncharted Drake's Fortune Platinum. Only need rank 100 for GTA Plat now. Nice. I'm glad that a lot of people are getting in that GTA spirit, getting that Plat done. Good stuff. Let's see. What else have we got here? What everyone else's highlights and lowlights of the week? Woo! Yeah. Highlight says Vaultboy Steve has to be watching classic Who. Yes, I got Vaultboy Steve to watch some classic Doctor Who. And then the low light for him was his wisdom teeth. That is sad. I hope that no one wants to take mine. Sirens are on my end, by the way. I've got 2 wisdom teeth. Here and here. Or are they here and here? No, they're here and here for sure. And I hope no one takes them from me because I'm quite attached to my wisdom teeth, even though sometimes they hurt. But that's just life, you know. Sometimes things that you love have got to hurt you, I'm sure. That's probably in a song somewhere. Starlight Gamer says my low light is that I broke my CD case of Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, that is sad. Robert War says highlight was getting the plat and 100% for Skyrim for PS4. Nice. Cypher says my highlight of the week is today. It's the biggest holiday in Islamic countries. Really? Oh! I don't really know much about the rest of the world, but that makes me sound so bad. What's going on? Yeah, educate me. What's the big event so that I don't just sit here and look dumb? Let's see. McMahon says Mass Effect Legendary Edition coming tomorrow. Ooh, yeah. Who's going to be going through the stars? Bethany says, oh yeah, lowlight was that Oddball died. So Oddball is Bethany's guinea pig, and I remember Oddball. He was quite sweet. Did you name Oddball after the 101 Dalmatians 2, or I guess 102 Dalmatians? I'm pretty, and they had that one called Oddball, which the one didn't get spots for ages. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice always going around and seeing Oddball and Pongo. I guess yeah, that makes sense. You had Pongo as well, and that so R.I.P. Oddball. And highlight is Forrest is sitting and saying "Mama." I saw a clip of it today. It's very cute. I'm still waiting for him to say Lucy. Alright, so if Bethany, if you could just, like, do that a bit with him, that would be really great. That would be really great. What could he say? Like, Lucy. Lucy. Something like that. I'd accept whatever. Let's see. Chris J says highlight is hike through a forest. And then Miles says highlight is got Resident Evil Village and Returnal. And lowlight is he hasn't played them yet. I mean, it's a common problem. We always... I have at least 2 games sitting in front of me that are in the wrappings, and I've not opened. One of them is Nier Automata, and the other is Dark Souls 2. So what's my highlight of the week? So I guess my highlight would be that Phase 3 is a-coming. So for those of you that don't know, Phase 3 is when indoor events are allowed to be reopened, like cinemas and museums and restaurants. Eating inside in a restaurant. God, we need this so much because the weather is trash. So yeah, I've got nothing planned. But it's good that things are like feeling like they're going to get back to normal. So maybe I should do something. Maybe I should look into that. because time is rapidly elapsing. It's very scary how things are just like moving so fast. But I'm glad that we got to the stage where we can get to this. I guess part of the good stuff is like going back to the office kind of feels like real life again to me. That's really helps like make things feel a bit more normal. So maybe that's why I've not really been craving doing anything in particular. Not that, well, obviously I do want to, but before it was like all I thought about. I was like, out the windows, like, but just having a place to be and exist is great. So we can also do some cautious hugging, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Not sure who I'm gonna hug. Really, I don't really have any contenders. I don't do much of it, as I said, but it's just nice. It's just nice to know that we can progress to the next stage. So I'm looking forward to that. And then on Saturday, gonna go get some Dishoom. Ooh, Dishoom is so good. I'll have to take a picture of all the food that we buy. And oh yeah, Bethany, plan our 30th party. Yeah, we do need to do that, because I was saying it to Shona the other day. I was just like, even though I know it happened, I'm not much of a birthday party person. But it also feels like, I don't know, I feel like nobody's aged because it doesn't feel like anything really happened. But yeah, I'd be like, let's do something, Beth. Let's try and plan. But me and Bethany's plan was always for our 30th birthday. Maybe not always, but in recent times. We wanted to go to the Pixar theme park place that was going to open in Gravesend, but that's never going to come. I don't know when that's going to happen. I think it's now changed to like a Paramount World. So you could go and have a pint down at the Rovers or whatever. I'm not really sure. Or watch the bill. I'm not really sure what Parachute is. Gafferman is asking Dishoom. That's like the place that they go to in Avengers and eat Indian food, I think. I don't know. Is that like the after, in the credits? They're just like, oh yeah, we're eating... I heard that from someone. I can't really remember what happens at the end of Avengers apart from... But yeah, it's like really, really good Indian food, and it's kind of expensive, but the price is worth it. And we just like buy loads of it, and then we just eat it. It was like our big birthday thing, and then you can roll the dice, and if you get lucky, like the number or something, then you get the whole meal for free. So that's good. Lowlight says Ian Graham has to be the cinema not showing the film I hope to see. Oh, I wonder what that was. And Highlight has to be finishing the platinum for LA Noire and beginning to go for the Mafia 2 platinum, Deluxe Edition platinum. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I remember doing I got both of those platinums actually. Pretty doable, pretty good plats. What have we got here? Oh yeah, so that's what, we need to think about that, Beth. So yeah, that's my big highlight of the week. Another one is in the office, as I mentioned. There's more people coming back. Some of my actual friends have arrived. It was so exciting. I saw like Alex and Anna, and I was like, ah, you're real. But then it's like, and then I had lunch with them, and I was like, this is so good. But now there's like quite a lot of people in the office, and part of me is like, I do miss being a bit of like the Lord of the Manor, because there was like these new girls. I'm like, who are the new girls? And they're like, oh my god, yeah. I'm like, oh, new girls. Oh. Because I have to sit by myself. Anna and Alex are over there, so they get to chat. The new girls get to chat, and I'm like, I can't chat because I'm going to go. So sometimes I'm like, Alex on Slack. I'm like, Alex, look at me. So we just go. We're so lame. But I'm going to see Alex tomorrow in the office. I think Anna might be in. But yeah, no, there's definitely a bit more of a hubbub. There's a bit more of a vibe. And it's nice to be out and to be alive. So yeah, that's another highlight of the week. But my main one is also going to move on to clip of the week. As you noticed in the thumbnail, there's a picture of me like, on a motorbike. Because Sophie, a friend of the show, and has also contributed many items to the show, like the Uncharted mug, took me on a bike ride. Oh, hang on, let's just have a look at the chat quickly. Adam W, where is the Dice restaurant? There's a couple of them. There's one in like Soho. I think there's one. There's about 3 in London, I think. I have to sit by myself. I do feel like at work sometimes I am like the disruptive child that's like, Lucy, if you're going to do work, you have to sit by yourself quietly. I'm like, okay, fine. Nick, what Sonic song am I singing? He's like, shut up. No, Nick would always talk to me, bless him. Although sometimes I could tell he wanted to work, and I'm like, okay, Nick. Then I go on Slack and I'm like, Nick. And he's just sitting next to me. Oh, I miss Nick. Nick, I know you're not watching. I miss sitting next to you. You rank him as one of my top desk friends, definitely. Although I say that, but I do have 3 people. I don't want to like call them out because they might be like, how am I not your number 1 desk friend or desk mate? But yeah, Nick's in the top 3. Nick's definitely in the top 3. I like Nick. Is there a dice because the meal itself is a gamble? Ooh. No, I think it's more of like a... I don't know. It's like a fun thing to do, I suppose. And we was at the birthday person. Roll the dice, never look back, and never think twice. Whoa, never give in. But I think they did it one time. They rolled the dice and got the whole meal free, but I wasn't there that time. So, we shall see. I shall take a picture. Maybe it will be clip of the week. Marcio, I hope I said that name right. How old am I? I'm 30. Say hello to Brazil. Hello, Brazil! How's it going? Wow, this is quite exciting saying hello to the world. So happy they're making a second Sonic movie. I still need to watch the first one, to be honest. Office tour from the new influence. And here we have Lucy. It's best just to leave her alone if you want to get any work done. Oh my god, Tim's coming back to the office tomorrow. I say coming back. Tim's never been in the office. And I'm going to give him the tour of the 4th floor because we can't go anywhere else. So I'll be like, hi Tim, welcome to the 4th floor. This is your guided tour. I am your guided tour today. Lucy is my name. So if you'd like to give me a 5-star on TripAdvisor, we would really like it. And at the end, please give me any feedback that you have. Here are the toilets, here is your desk, and here's the stationery cupboard. Thank you so much for your tour of the 4th floor. We hope you enjoyed your time. No, Tim, it'll be a bit more exciting than that. We will spend a lot of time in the stationery cupboard, even though it is very bare. Need to sort that out. But they did bring I actually requested green pens, and the green pens are still there. You have to have a green pen. Flippin' hell, it's good. Anyway, let's get back to the show, because we've got a fair bit to run through. I've got to talk about something that's been on my mind later. So, here, please enjoy a clip of the week from when Sophie took me on a bike ride. I didn't film much, because I don't like to sometimes be that person that's, like, whacking out a camera. I have to give Tim a hunk. Thank you, Chris J. I will, definitely. Lucy is the mascot of the workplace. Thank you. Yeah, I don't like, just throwing my camera out all the time and being that person. I need to become a bit more, not inhibited in that sense. But yeah, this is only a little short clip of just to give you a vibe, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Please enjoy. Clip of the week. Got my bike boots on today, but I'm just dressed as Sophie. Just getting some B-roll. Hello. So yeah, that was some scenes from before the ride happened. So like Sophie took me to the meeting place, and then they went on a journey. I'm not really sure where I went, which maybe I should double check that. Somewhere outside of Brighton, but they take a proper path, and they have this app that shows them the best route for taking bike paths. So it'll be country lanes and stuff like that. So I'm sitting on the back of Sophie's bike, right, and I'm holding on. Hang on, I could show you some pictures. Let's go to the slideshow. There's me and Sophie on the back of the bike. Look how obviously Sophie was we're not going to do this unless obviously you have the right gear on, because we want to be safe people. So she gave me the helmet, she gave me the Kevlar jeans, the boots, and the jacket. And honestly, I look like I've been shrunk in the wash. But there we are, on the back of the bike. I was holding on for dear life. But to be honest, the real advice is just to relax. Much like Hermione, you have to relax. I did think of that a lot of the time during the journey. When in doubt, think of mine. I was also having a very bad face day, just to point that out. But also my face does look very tiny inside this helmet. So this is... Look at me. Look at my derpy face. Hello, I'm here. Hello. Hi, I'm Lucy. You're taking a picture of me. I feel awkward. Hello. That's what's going through my head in that moment. But yeah, then I just sat on the bike. I was like, Sophie, can I sit on the bike and pretend that I can drive? And she's like, yeah. So Ryan takes these pictures. He's a professional photographer. And so I was like, and he was like, oh, I can take them with my camera. And I was like, wow, thanks. So we went on this drive. Went to a pub and had some cheesy chips, and then I just sat on the motorbike and posed for a bit, pretending I was hot stuff at the feet. I look like the traffic warden here. Hello, my name's Lucy. Do you know I've just pulled you over? Yeah, your back tail light's out. Yeah. So there we go. There's just I didn't have all the pictures from. Oh well, we don't need to see any more of that. Don't need to see any more of my face. So there we go. Just add some motion blur to the phone and look cooler. Yeah, so we were part of the motorbike gang, much like the Lost and Damned. So yeah, so I was like this. Oh, the next day as well. Whew, I had discovered that I may have had some abs buried beneath all of this because they hurt like hell. So I was like sitting on the back of the bike. Your butt hurts a lot as well because it was like a 2-hour drive or something. So you're sitting there like the whole time, and you have to just kind of relax and be like, when the things happen. And yeah, Sophie as well is a very, very, very good driver. I would just like to point out. I was like, and I was doing a bit of road practicing as well. When I was on the back of the bike, I was looking at my road signs, I was looking at the roundabouts, trying to check when it's safe. And Sophie taught me a lot about biker, like how you drive. So this, yeah, means there's a speed camera, so you do that and point to it. There's like this, if there's like a bump in the road, you'll just like point and well kind of do that, or you might put your foot out. And I was like, oh, I'm learning today. And yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Oh, and they rode in like some kind of formation, so it was like duff duff duff, but because so and I learnt a new word. What's the new word? I was a pillion. Because that was the first thing that someone said to me. Someone said, because when you was at the meeting, like, hi, so you're is it a pillion? I don't know. And I literally just was like, what? I didn't know how to, because you're not a pedestrian. Pillion casement. Is it? No, it's a pelican. No, it's not a pelican. I wasn't a pelican. I don't know. Does someone know what I'm talking about? Sophie only watches this on demand, so I can't get Sophie's live thoughts. You're not called a passenger because a passenger sits and does nothing, whereas the pillion or whatever you're called needs to, be an active participant in the. Yeah, it's a pillion. Oh, maybe I did get it right. I don't know. I just looked up because they need to be part of the if you turn, you need to make sure you're going with the person. Otherwise, yeah, Robert Warner's a pillar. That's probably what I was, to be fair. Yeah, so you need to help with it. There was apparently a part where we went through this really tiny gap, and I went, and Sophie was like, you really tensed up, and it made it harder. And I was like, oh no! But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So thanks, Sophie, and thanks to everybody that I met. That was a lot of fun. So let's have a look. What have I got here? Yeah, you have to lean, and that was quite cool. We were doing some of the turns and stuff. But yeah, my arms hurt from holding on, my butt cheeks hurt from sitting down for so long, and then my knees hurt a little bit because I'm elderly now. Right, so let's talk about what have I been playing. So I am still playing Returnal. Not got very far since the last stream. I've only got to I'm still on Biome 3. Would you like a little bit of a teaser? Or not even a teaser. Pillion pronounced sounds behind the motorcyclist. Sorry, I'm just reading what Gafferman is saying. He is saying facts. That's like that bit in Inside Out. It's probably my favourite bit when they're on the train and they knock out, there's two boxes of facts and opinions, and they, Bing Bong and Joy, they knock them over. And they're like, oh no, I don't know which one goes where. These facts and opinions look the same. And then Bing Bong's like, oh, it's fine, I get them mixed up all the time. I was like, very good, very good. So, Returnal. I am still on Biome 3. I hate this biome so much. I have a short clip of me playing the game to demonstrate how it is going. Please enjoy.
We're just gonna have to press on, aren't we? We're just gonna have to press on. Just be the best that we can be and hope that we can be greater than great. Greater than great, gooder than good. Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? Oh my god, it's the astronaut! Holy god! I need a health. Fuck! Ah! Get me out of here! Get me the fuck out of this room! Ah! Get me out of this room too! I need health! I need everything! Ah! Oh my god! It's Sophie that's dying! My god, it's Sophie! Ah! The astronaut! Get me the fuck out of here! Ah! I don't like it! Everything is alive! No! Oh man! That sucked. Damn it.
So yeah, that's how it's going. This was at the point where I was just sick to death of just dying, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to press on and try and get through it. And that was the first time I'd got to that bit. And then I realised now it's not the astronaut. I think it's like some sort of robot. And that freaked me the frick out when that thing was like, and I was like, oh my god. And I was just like, I just wanted to get to the boss so bad. And that wasn't even where the boss was. That was only the bit to get to the checkpoint to unlock the boss. So here's a gripe I have with the game, right? If you want to do good, you do need to set aside a big chunk of time, because the boss runs, we talk about boss runs in Dark Souls and Demon Souls and all those Souls all the time, but these are ridiculously long, okay, and this is why. So, you crash. Now, you can go straight to Biome 3, but the problem is, if you go straight to Biome 3, well, you still need to get to the boss for a start, but you kind of need to build up your shit before you get to the boss, and that's kind of, you have to kind of farm a little bit. So what you could do is you could go through Biome 1, get some oblets, I think they're called, go through Biome 2 to, like, you know, pick up some stuff, open some chests, and then you're sort of adding some artifacts to you, which will build you up. Then, of course, if you find the shop, that is, you can spend your oblets to, like, you know, give yourself a bit of a max integrity, or buy the astronaut. God, if you get the astronaut, you're laughing. But, you know, you're not always guaranteed to get the astronaut. So that was what was happening. It's like, I played for like 2 hours the other night, but I only actually got to the boss twice, and it wasn't because I was dying particularly, it was because I was making sure I was like properly equipped. So what I was doing at first is I was just going, once I did unlock the boss, I was going straight to the boss, well, trying to get to the boss fight, but dying woefully quickly because I wasn't prepared enough. So for a start, if you go straight to Biome 3, you still have your starting weapon, and that's not really going to do much. Now, sometimes you'll be lucky, and you'll get a weapon, they'll give it to you. Even if you get... So you do pick up something that will make you have a higher weapon proliferancy. Proliferancy? How did you say that word? But it's not enough, really. You need to pick an actual good gun. So that's why sometimes you've got to farm it out in the lower levels to pick up something that's, you know, viable. And then, even when you get... So let's just pretend... I've gone through Biome 1, 2, bought some of my stuff, leveled myself up. Then you get to Biome 3, which is a freaking hellhole. I mean, I saw someone in the chat as well saying that they had sort of bad flashbacks to Biome 3. This place is awful. There's these drones. They weren't in that clip. But everything is always out to kill you. But these things are like proper intensely out to kill you. So the drones, they're like, and they sometimes give you like maybe 5 of them, and they will dive bomb you, and they're 2 hits and you're dead. And those other things on the floor, like the crawlers, they're like... Everything as well has these, when they die, these circular sort of wave things that come at you. So you're like killing something, they drop a wave. There's these turrets that are like spitting out bombs and they're dropping a wave. You've got to be all over the place to sort of work out what's going on. So if you're not prepared for this stuff, you're going to go in there and just get destroyed. And also you need to pick up all your health and stuff. So you have to go through the Biome 3 to get to the point. So there is a checkpoint, so you have to go one way to undo to get to the checkpoint, then you have to go through, and then even after the checkpoint there's like a big section to go through where you've got to go, oh my god, you have to go through these like, what's this? Lasers. There's like this laser puzzle to get to the top where the boss even is, with the freaking huge guy that I showed in that clip. I was like, this is a run and a half. Like, you really need to be prepared if you want to, so I've done the boss twice, and I felt like both times I wasn't, because that's the other thing. You don't know what weapon you're going to get, because you're not guaranteed to get any weapon. So I think the first time I did the boss, I just had a woefully crap gun, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do anything, because that's the other thing as well. You want to make sure your gun has like a good alt fire, and the one that I had was a very close range, and this boss is quite far range, and I was like, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, you know, half a weapon down. I mean, I'm sounding like I'm moaning. It is a really good game, as you can see from that clip. Even though it was like stressful and scary, I was really enjoying myself. Otherwise I would have been effing and jeffing much harder, but with a severe tone of F's and Jeffs rather than the F's and the Jeffs. But yeah, sometimes it is, the RNG is very luck of the draw. But I do feel like as well, I find it difficult to play the game when I'm tired, so I kind of stopped playing it after work, because then I just go in there and I start just dying in Biome 1, because you need the reflexes, you need to be quick as a cat. So I'm going to have to put some time into it at the weekend. Apparently after Biome 3, Biome 4 is much better, and I think I'll be back on track, but this biome can do one. Also, I don't know what these daily challenges are, so I go to the little computer in my office, aka my ship, and there's like, boom, there's some sort of challenge, but they just go on for like ever. And I don't even think I've completed one, because there's a trophy for completing one, but I get so bored that I just die. By the way, it is a really great game. I just like to moan sometimes. But yeah, that is a bit... That's the one thing, it is a bit extreme. Oh, and that's what happened as well. So I had a really, really, really good run on Saturday morning. I was like, right, it's got a good run. I had built up all my stuff. I felt like I was properly prepared. I looked at the time and I was like, I have to go out. So I had to put my PlayStation in rest mode, and I was thinking, it's not terrible, it's fine. But I had the astronaut, had everything, and so then I get back from a very long day out, and now my PlayStation is kind of rendered useless, because I either have to play Returnal, or do nothing. Like, I'm literally now bound to it, because you can't save, so I was like, well, let's just give it a go. I turn it on, and of course, I'm like in Biome 3 where I left, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's just see, what am I doing, where we're going? And it just didn't work out. I died really dumb because I didn't have the build up. And I was like, well, everybody kind of knew that was going to happen. So that was kind of frustrating, so that you can't, do that. So how's everyone else, for those of you that have Returnal, how are you all getting on with it? So let's see. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Sounds very familiar to Spelunky, says Gafferman. You can take shortcuts to the later biomes, but then you miss out on a lot of critical paths. Yeah, exactly. You do just need to, build up your character to get things going. Jose saying Biome 5 is pretty tough as well. Damn. Luke says, ignore the room filled with the guys before the boss. They're only there to fake you up on your run. Yeah, but that's the thing. If you run through it, like I did try, but I didn't really know where I was going, it can be quite dangerous. And then there's those green things that are keeping everything alive. But I'll give it a go. How many biomes are there? I don't actually know, to be honest. Do I want to know? I don't know. But I never ever want to go back to Biome 3. Also, fun fact about Biome 3, it's the only game which was a bit of ahead of the curve, and it lets you fight the actual coronavirus. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a clip of it, but there was this ball thing that showed up, and I kid you not, I saw it and I was like, oh my god, it's COVID, let's destroy it! Felt very cathartic. I was like, because it also, the thing that it did, it just pulsated loads of, spore things, so it did look like a virus, like the circular thing spitting out all the other stuff, and I was like, die! Much like the front line. Jasmine saying I can't get through Biome 5. I mean, I can't even get through Biome 3. Heaven forbid. So one day. Oh, okay. Chris J is saying 6. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to, the weekend so I can properly play it and not feel like there's not much time. So one of the things I was doing is I was, playing the game and just farming Biome 1 to just get the collectibles. But I feel like I've got to a point where I can't do that anymore because there must be other things hidden that I can't get to because I need other things. Biome 3 itself is tougher than the boss, says Jose. Well, I'm glad it's not just me then. It's so enjoyable once you kill the third boss. Keep on going and always bring the astronaut. And always let your astronaut be your guide. But the thing is, Luke, the astronaut isn't guaranteed. I mean, how does one get the astronaut if the astronaut does not appear at the shop? Because that happened to me. Or if you don't even get the replicating man. But the replicating man is really expensive. He's 3 ether. And by the replicating man, I mean that thing that's like that. And then you get in and you're like, and then it dupes you up. So yeah. Did a quick, what happened? Checking the locking it down thread. Did a quick Lucy Biker speed edit. Exciting. I'll have to look at that later. So yeah, that's how things are going. I don't have the games that's going right over my head, but I hope you eventually complete it, says Ian. Why, thank you. So yeah, that's all I've been playing. Not been playing much else. I saw someone ask me about Resident Evil Village. I would like to get it eventually. Not sure when that will be. Also, Mass Effect, I would like to get that eventually. But, time is of the essence. The outside is calling me, much like, I said before, Moana. There's a world and and it calls me. So I'm getting in my boat, everybody. I'm going out there, and maybe I'll find The Rock, and he'll steal my boat, but then he'll sing a very cheery song to me, and I won't realise what's happened. I'll be like, oh my god, this is amazing. Hey, The Rock just stole my boat. If I did see The Rock, that would be very exciting. So yeah, no astronaut equals new run. Oh, that's a harsh tone to take. So the other thing I would like to talk about is the what have I been watching, because it's been a long odyssey what I've been watching. I started watching Life on Mars, which I think I mentioned ages ago. I started watching that at the end of March, and then after Life on Mars, you go to the sort of next sort of spin-off show, which is still part of the same show. It's I don't know, Ashes to Ashes, and I finished it. And isn't that a weird feeling when you finish a show that you've been watching for a long time? You're like, now I thought the finale, I don't want to spoil it, but the finale was very good. Well, I say very good. I think it was very good actually, because finales are tough in TV shows. You could either nail it or you go way off like Lost, and you're like, ah. Now I do think as well, I watched, because this show came out in 2010. The finale was a little bit like, oh okay, it's this old shtick again. And if you watched it or haven't watched it, you'll probably know what I mean. It's like not a cop out. but it was maybe it was still a bit ahead of its time back in the day-ish. But it's one of those things like, okay. But I think it was a justified ending, and it was like it made sense. Was it because of Johnston being in Mars? No, is he in Mars? Oh, Robert, have you watched it? I love the finale. So basically, I mentioned before, I think perhaps, the show is about, the first one is about this guy who's a police officer. He gets hit by a car and then he's on the floor and then he wakes up and he's like in the 70s and he's like a police officer in the 70s. He's not really sure what's going on. Is he a coma or is he a time traveller or is he mad? That's something that he says at the beginning. And then the whole thing's like trying to work out what's going on, and it turns out, I think it's pretty strongly implied that he is in a coma. And the ending of that was very, very cool. So his story ends, and then the next one, like Ashes to Ashes, starts. And this new woman, I'm Alex Drake, and she gets shot in the head with a bullet. And then she wakes up, and she's in the 80s. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I could be bothered to watch this. I liked like John Sims' character, but the same characters are from Life on Mars. The same characters do carry over other than John Sims' character, but they do have Keeley Hawes' character in it. And at first I was like, oh my god, she's like mental. Like if anybody else like met her in this world, because she didn't take the world seriously, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like in one of the episodes, she meets the dad of her daughter, but the dad's like 14 and she's like a 30-year-old woman, and and something has happened, obviously they split up, so she's being really harsh to this 14-year-old kid. And I'm like, if anybody could see this interaction, they'd be like, what's going on here? She's like, so are you, I see you're just going to run off then? I was like, people are going to think well, but that's the thing, everyone sort of let it slide, her weirdness, because she would always call everybody her constructs, because, blah, blah. But anyway, I got really into all the characters, and I got, like, the two main characters, Alex and Gene Hunt. Oh, they had, like, a very, like, a will they, won't they sort of relationship going on, and I don't know why, but I got very invested in it, and I was like, oh, this is good. Yes, I remember seeing the Master on the Life on Mars promos. Yes, that's what it is. The American... What? There's an American remake? The American remake literally ends with the main character waking up on a space shuttle on its way to Mars. Very subtle. No, Luke, you need to watch Ashes to Ashes if you've not. It is actually good. The 80s is cool. The music is cool. And, yeah, I didn't really enjoy the week-to-week crimes, because they are all coppers. They're all coppers and they solve crimes. And I remember the week-to-week crimes in Life on Mars didn't really, like, vibe with me, but the week-to-week ones in Ashes to Ashes did. Now, I think I might have also developed some kind of a crush on both the main characters. Because firstly, well, I don't know how I don't know how I can justify the sentence now that I've just said it. But, I don't know. It's Keeley Hawes. She was, like, super cool. So she was, like, this police officer. She was a psychologist or something in the today world. So she goes back in the past world, and she like works in the police force with all these men, and of course it's the 80s, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe there's a woman who's like going to be in charge of us. But she's like this badass, and she just doesn't take any shit from them, even though they're kind of like sexist towards her. And I was like, damn, that's really cool. I wish I could be more like her. And she like just walks around and she just like does the thing because she knows like stuff. Because I guess if you went back in time, you could just be like, well, this is just silly, I don't care. Fire up the Quattro. Yes, Robert. Oh my god, I love the Quattro. So yeah, she was really cool. And then the main character, he was just like the Sweeney or something, you know, like blah blah blah. He doesn't really care what's going on. He was just so, boy, yeah, come on, balls, or yeah, let's get the bastards, get that collar. Oh my god. So I just really enjoyed it, and the ending got me. I was like, that. But that's the thing, when you finish the show that you've really enjoyed, what do you do now to fill the empty void in your soul? I don't really know what I'm going to watch next, everybody. I do like a little bit of British drama. Should I get a picture of them? I'm going to get a picture of them. Why not? Let's just show myself up. That's Ashes to Ashes. Not that I want to... Also, I really liked what she wore sometimes. Not that I think that it would, like, you know, suit me. But she would, like... Well, I do have a leather jacket. So she had a leather jacket in some of the episodes. I'm like, oh, gosh, she looks so professional. I wish I could look professional sometimes. Oh my god, I have such a crush for some unknown reason. Alright, come with me now on a journey through time and space to the world of the internet. The internet, come with me to the internet. Here we are at the internet. Images. So, look at these guys. Look how cool they look. No, she's not wearing it here. She wore this really cool blazer in the last series, and I was like, damn, blazers are cool. I wish I could wear a blazer with the sleeves rolled up. Is this the blazer? I don't know why she had this. Oh, I don't know what I'm clicking on now. And the blazer here. There you go. But she had like a weird sort of, these are the two main characters. You know when a show ends as well, I just like start typing in like loads of things about the show. I'm like, oh my god, I need to read up all the characters. So there we go. This is my embarrassing confession to the internet this week. I hope you enjoy. I don't want to go back to the 80s, so I quite like when I grew up. So I just had to get that out of my system. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I do like how they hinted on the truth about the season. I bet that anybody who's not watched this is probably just like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I had to talk about it to somebody, and unfortunately it had to be you. So that's all I've got going on. If anybody has any questions before we get to the last part of the show, because I realise I've just waffled about lots of stuff. Let's see. If I went back in time, I'd bet all the sports. You'd bet on all the sports teams that would win. If I went back in time, I don't really know where I'd want to go. I was thinking about this. Like, what if you woke up before coronavirus happened? Like, could you maybe do something to stop it happening? I don't know. They probably wouldn't listen to you. Think you were crazy. You would need to. Yeah, you need to get a perm if you went to the 80s. I don't know. I don't know if I would really fit in. I quite like the era that I was born. I was thinking about this. This was it yesterday or something? Because I quite liked how when I was born, you're sort of like a toe in both worlds almost. Like, I knew what life was like before all the technology suddenly took off, but then I was at a good age when the technology did start taking off. So I was at the phone when it was on the coil, when you were stuck, but then I also got to experience, mobile phones and how that evolved. And like music, I had a little cassette tape, and also technology sort of suddenly, very rapidly, made a massive jump in such a short time. Like VHSs, I don't really know what it was like, so maybe I'm making a wild overstatement. But I guess you had television that was black and white, then television that was colour, and that was like, 4:3 was standard for quite a long time, and then you had, then screens got wider, So that was like quite a slow progression. But in other senses, some of the things that happened in my time was like, music. You went from the cassette tape to the CD player to the iPod, and now everyone's just got it on their phones. I think that's quite interesting. You'd have to take a backpack proof. You'd have to take back proof for them to believe you. That's true. The 90s was a great era. See, I don't really know what really happened in the 90s. At least one of us in the chat was just you not talking to yourself. Thank you. Like, I don't think it's entirely out of your system. I think I need to talk to someone who did watch it, and then I can really let loose all my feelings. Because I feel like I need to talk about the actual ending, but I'm not going to. So, vinyls, cassettes, CDs, MP3s, iPods, streaming. Yeah, exactly. So we got the full spectrum. Also, I liked being, on the precipice of being like a kid to teenager and being let loose on the internet when the internet was still the Wild West and people couldn't really you were just doing whatever. So I thought that was quite what an interesting time to be alive, as they say. So I thought that was quite a good time. Does anybody else think about that? Does anybody else feel like they should have been born at a different time, or if they would like to be born at a different time? Because some people do truly feel that. They're like, I think I would have fit in much better if I was born in the 60s, for instance. But I'm pretty cool with where I was born. I don't know if I'd like to be born now either. Like, because you kind of just got, everything's just not given to you, but everything's such at your fingertips. I mean, it would be cool, but I do sort of think about video games in a sense. Like, if you're growing up now, your exposure to a video game is like this amazing experience where the graphics are really cool. But for me, I got to see that step from, little pixel games where you're like, to now, oh my god, look, it's horse balls and it's pooping. See, I got the full experience. But now, the kids just get the horse balls and they're like, wow. They're not even wow. They're probably just like, easy. I'm sure that wasn't like hard. They don't know. They don't know the struggle. Nostalgia is cool, but eventually you'd miss today's technology. Yeah, definitely. I am a 90s child, but even though I was born in the 90s, I don't really feel like I really knew what happened in the 90s, because it was more like the 2000s where I became, a sentient being that I remember times. What a noisy motorbike. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're like 0 to 10, you don't really have any influence on what's going on. I don't know. What did I like? I can't even tell you what I liked when I was under 10. It's more, I feel like I'm more formulated in my 2000s. Yeah, I remember Ask Jeeves, the days of the dark internet. Ryan says I was born in 2006 and I wouldn't change it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't mind being born in the 90s, but I would love to have been brought up during the 80s. Best era of music. Yeah, but Chris J, we get to have the music now. We get to listen back to it. Just because So we get the best of both worlds, like, as Hannah Montana says, you get the best of both worlds. Go on Spotify, find the 80s top hits, and then you can listen to whatever's happening now if you're still into that. I've only got 5 more years, apparently, of music until I become dead to music, so I've got to really suck it all in, because otherwise I'm going to be long lost. I do actually, now I remember, I have some, let's see, I was born in the 80s, but right at the end, so I feel more like a 90s child. Yeah, so I was born right at the beginning of the 90s. I do actually, with the what am I watching, I have some required watching for you guys, if you would like to watch it. So I think I mentioned, like, ages ago, but I've never watched RoboCop. But there was one version of RoboCop that I watched, and it was called Our RoboCop Remake, and for a while I started to think maybe I made it up, because I couldn't find it anywhere. So it was basically, they asked 50 filmmakers to take scenes from RoboCop and remake them any way they want, and then they stuck them all together. And I don't know, I can't really show it, because obviously I'd probably get copyright or something. But if you would like to watch this fan remake of RoboCop, it's in the chat there for you. It's on Vimeo. It's very interesting. Like, I really liked the creativity and stuff that went into it. And I can't believe I actually found it. There were some weird scenes that I was like, what? So that's the mugger scene stopped me from sleeping last night. Yeah, if you find the mugger scene, and I was telling Steve about it, and he was like, so you've never watched RoboCop, but you've watched this? And I was like, yeah, pretty much. But I think I liked the creativity that came out of it. So yeah, give it a watch if you want to watch Our RoboCop remake. Maybe I could get it up. What's it called? Our Robo... There we go. Let's jump back to the internet. The internet! So yeah, Our RoboCop remake. Yeah, it's the rubber scene, but I'm not going to play that right now. But just before the remake was released in 2014, a group of different filmmakers went through and did their one. So they were told to make it as outlandish as possible. So you might notice some people that you recognise from the YouTube things, but it is a real thing, Our RoboCop remake. So if you've got some spare time on your hands and would like to watch something maybe slightly different, then I say go for it. Live your best robot life and see what you think. So yeah. Let's see. Speaking of, I did have a Tamagotchi, and I thought that they died, and I buried mine in the garden, not realizing that you could revive and have a new one. So there we go. Let's see. Are there any other questions before I move on to the end of the show? I think the same was done for the OG Star Wars trilogy. Maybe I'll watch that instead of watching Star Wars, seeing as I've not watched Star Wars. Hello, Thomas. Good evening to you too. Even though you just said evening. So you didn't even wish me a good evening. You just said an evening. What can you do, eh? So, right, I managed to dig out last week. Wait, can we just gloss over burying it in the garden? Well, I did. I buried my Tamagotchi in the garden, and then Bethany told me that you could dig it back out again and just start a new Tamagotchi. And I was like, oh. One time I remember as well, I put my Tamagotchi in my top pocket at primary school, and I was like lining up to go to assembly, and I was like, I heard it go blah blah blah, and I was like, oh no. And I was like, because I was quite a nervous child, so I was like almost crying, and I was like, and the teacher was like, what's wrong? And I was like, she was like, what's up? And I was like, my Tamagotchi. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to, like, be a good student. And so she was like, don't worry, I'll take it. And she put it in her drawer, and she gave it back to me at the end of the day. And I was like, make sure you feed it. Oh, Tamagotchis, good times. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still in the garden. I might have dug it up, but there are some other things in the garden. We talked about Pet Cemetery. Right, so last week I showed you guys my my highlight of fame when I was on Sky Sports. I was on Sky Sports for 5 seconds when I was in a WWE Velocity thing, and that reminded me that I've got like a bunch of posters that I made when I went to WWE shows, and they are all here in this WH Smith bag. Actually, look how large these are. They're quite wide. So let's have a quick look through them and see what's all this? What's all this? Oh, it's very dusty. Oh, these are the tickets. I wonder what year this is. Oh my god. Hang on. WWE Monday Night Raw, presented by the Honey Monster. Starts. Oh my god! This was Jess's birthday in 2009. Jess would have been 19, maybe 20, perhaps 18. There we go. Look, it's the ticket. Presented by the Honey Monster. We had the seats, row N, seat 51. Those were quite good. Sponsored by WW thing. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know I had those. and some propaganda. Talk. This stream is sponsored by Talk. Make sure. Well, I'm sure if there was any other appropriate sponsor, it would be Talk. Call me Talk. Oh no, I don't want to ruin this. I'm going to put that back in properly anyway. So the first time I went to WWE event was in 2005, and I was like, we're going to make posters. No, not posters. We're going to make signs, and I was like very excited. So the first sign I had to make was for my favourite wrestler of all time back then, and I slaved. I'm just trying to get it out because there's quite a number of them in here. I used to get the little paints out as well. Hold up! Oh my god, there's loads of these posters in here. I don't know if I have. No, surely I've got to have all of the ones. Oh, there we go. Right, I don't know how I'm going to display this, but I remember drawing this on the table, and my mum was like, "Oh, Lucy's drawing hearts," and I was like, "All right, Mum, it's because he's the Heartbreak Kid." Well, got a problem with that, so I had an H. Give me an H. H. Give me a B. B. Give me a K. K. Oh, I didn't think this through very well. What do you get? Oh, there's also a... Ow. Paper cut my face. There's also an exclamation mark. And when you put it all together, you get... The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, who's going to kick your teeth down your throat. So you get the idea with that. It's very difficult to see it all, but there it is. HBK. That was my first ever sign. I don't want to rip these. Oh, I think I've paper cut my nose. So, and I'm also going to die of asthma with all the frickin' dust. Have I got dust in my hair? Oh my god, I do. I've got dust all over. Let's just ride the dust waves. So that's how ancient these artifacts are. Obviously, it's HBK. So then, oh my god. Right, what have we got next? There was more than this. There was more. I'm trying to find them all in chronological order. Oh, here's the one, the famous one, the one that got me on telly. Pirates Rock. Dun, 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 dun. And you're like, oh, Pirates Rock. I can't see if you can tell, but there's that one. There you go. Let's see, what else have we got here? I remember there was one that we all made one, even my sister and my brother. But I don't know if I kept their ones. Let's see. Oh, this is the one that I also had. Oh, this is one that my sister made. Bit awkward now, isn't it? But I remember I put her on my shoulders, and then the man was like, and I got told off for putting my sister on. But that was a bit ripped. Let's get rid of that one. Bit awkward. This was one that you can see in the background of Raw. So because it was any Guerrero, no Guerrero love. It was Y2J, the highlight reel rocks. Of course, inspiration for most of my life. Chris Jericho. I do have a little. What would Chris Jericho do? No, it was my grandpa that drew the sword. He was very good at drawing. So, yeah, that was that one. Oh yeah, and the HBK one. I slaved over this HBK thing. And guess what? The guy never showed up to that episode of Raw. I was heartbroken that the Heartbreak Kid didn't show up. Got all this dust. So, look, another HBK sign for another time I went to Raw. Actually, I feel like Jess might have made this. This looks too good to be mine. Again, he didn't show up to Raw. What an absolute joker. I show up all the times and, sorry, there's a lot of dust. He did stand me up. The Heartbreak Kid did stand me up. 3 times I went to Raw to see him. And I had to go to the DX one. I remember I was sitting down and we were at Raw and then it went, "Are you ready? Boom, boom. Coming to the UK in November 2019. And I literally went to my brother, "We are going." Because it was the DX tour. And I was like, "Break it down. Degenerate into something, fool. We just got tired of doing what they told us to do." And I was like, "We have to be there." And I got my little DX things. I wore my DX shirt and I was all ready. And then I saw him and I remember I just freaked out. I was like, "Shawn, I love you." And I think he was like, so I was like, there's no way I've waited so many years to see him. It's 2009 now, and my little soul was back there in 2005. My little heartbreak, my little tiny. I was like Stan in the Eminem song. Yo, I didn't mean to diss you. Like, you were cold, man. We stood out in the freezing cold, and then you just dissed us. Yeah, that was me. to Shawn Michaels, writing to him like, "Dear Shawn, I was at the show. I spent so long writing my HBK." Oh, hello, getting too excitable. "I spent forever making my sign, and you didn't even reply." Yeah, that's my my B-side for what happened to me in my life. But yeah, then he showed up finally at the DX1, and I was so happy. That's how he got his name, says Adam W. Very good, very good. So what have we else got here? We got a little bit of the 619. I think this is a Jess one again, because I wouldn't have done this. My friend Jess would go to the events. 619 Princess for Rey Mysterio. I've now just got signs all over the floor. Oh, this looks like my brother done that. The Animal. Oh no, this was Tasha. Oh, sorry. There's all the dust is killing me. There, The Animal, Batista. So he finished the show, and it was like, I walk for miles inside this pit of danger. Because yeah, he was the big main event of that time. Because it was 2005. The big man, Dave Batista, was on top back then. So this is when we all went to Birmingham, by the way, to do this. Oh, here's another classic one. Kurt sucks. You suck. But this is actually, ironically, this is when he was a face that I had this, but I was like, no, he still sucks. You suck. Because this is when everyone was like, oh yeah, going, you suck to the opponent, not to Kurt. And I was like, no, you still suck, Kurt. So I quite enjoyed making these and painting them. It was quite fun going to the shop and getting them. Oh yeah, this was another one that my brother did. JR beat the game. So there was like a storyline that happened where JR, good old Jim Ross, pinned Triple H, much to Triple H. Obviously Triple H is like a proper wrestler and JR is a commentator and an announcer. So my brother found this endlessly funny. So he did a little JR beat the game. Went that time. Is this a forgotten episode of Blue Peter? Quite possibly. I mean, I'm sure all the non-wrestling fans have tuned off. But I'm enjoying this this trip down memory lane. Oh, now my most hated wrestler of all time. Okay. JBL is a wrestling gob because he called himself, because I am a wrestling god. He would say it all the time. I was like, no, he is a wrestling gob. Because gob is British for talks a lot. Got a big gob. I've got a gob. Got a gob on me. I'm a mouthy mare, as Danny Dyer might say. If anyone needs posters for wrestling, yeah, hit me up. So that was a good one. I hated JBL. What a douche, right? Oh, here's a big one. I remember now. I'm pretty sure Triple H saw this. Game's up, Orton. Yeah, because this was in 2009 as well when Triple H and Randy Orton were feuding. So I remember this bit because I was like down and Triple H knew he goes like so. Was it time to play the game? And he stands on the turnbuckle and he goes, I don't know what he's saying, but he's like, and I'm like, yeah, game's up, Orton, yeah. Such a loser. And then the final one, we finally got to the end, everybody. Don't worry, you can all go home soon. What's that? I'm getting the go home. I'm getting the go home from the ref. Finally, of course, my bae. Here he comes. It's the main event. Dun, 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 dun. And his name is John Cena. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. The champ is here. So yeah, I thought that was good because the champ was in England. I could have maybe done the United Kingdom sign, but whatevs. So, there we go. That was my trip down. I'm going to have to put all of these away now, next to the big poster of the cheetah that fell off the wall. I expected more colour on that one. Yeah, you can see it as time went on. I was like, let's just draw this, get it over and done with. Because that's the thing, the sign game started to, people stopped bringing signs after a while. So my brother used to be like, you're really lame for making signs now. And I was like, I don't care. I like being artistic. So, yeah. That's why I look at all the signs that I made back in the day. Let's see if I can. What is this? Is the big? Oh yeah. Look, if you want to see some professional art, I don't know if this is big enough to fit, but one day I'm gonna look at this. The cheetahs. I don't really know what this is, but it was some artwork that that we used to have on the wall, but it fell over. and then my dad just asked me to look after it. Maybe I'll keep this for my flat. He has not asked for it back for like 10 years, so I'll keep it, and I will look after the cheetahs forevermore. And yeah, now I'm gonna have to tidy all this up. I'm literally a dusty mess. I'm a dusty old mess. Yes, right. So, I think that about wraps up today's show. I'm knackered. I'm really hot now. Whew. Gets hot under the lights. Have I drunk all my drink yet? I have. So thank you so much, everybody. You can't mess with history. That's like asking Jesus to print the Bible in Helvetica because Times New Roman is out of date now. You can't do that. Jesus wrote in time. Jesus was all about Times New Roman back then. You don't get the Bible in Helvetica. So let's cross off another day of lockdown. Why don't you play Poker in the Jungle? Too many cheaters. Oh, I like that. I'm going to steal that. Right, here we go. Let's what's something that Gene Hunt would say? He just says, let's fire up the Quattro and cross off. Oh, sorry, I'm behind a day. I've got to cross off 2 days of lockdown. I don't really know what I'm doing with this anymore because I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm in lockdown limbo. I don't even know if this really exists anymore. I don't know when to end it. Because I feel like, well, I guess I'll end it when all social limits. Did Jesus print the Bible? I don't know. I guess some of the stories are done after. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. There wasn't any printers back then. I don't know what's going on. Who knows? What's the Jesus law? So that about wraps up today's episode of Locking It Down with Lucy. Thank you so much for being here, bearing with me, and now I have to tidy up all this mess on the floor. But never forget, Shawn Michaels, he will show up at some point. He won't break your heart forever. June 21st. Oh, June 21st. What a strange old time this has all been. So, thanks so much to everybody in the chat. It was nice to see you all and talk to you all. Thank you so much to the mods, Bethany, Miles, and Vault Boy Steve for being here and doing the mod work. And thank you so much to everybody for, being here, joining in, listening to me ramble about the things that I talk about. So, my phone is proper dusty. Whew. I shall catch you all next week. Bethany says, call me after, please. Oh, that's exciting. I've just been given like you see me after class. I've got to see Bethany after class. Right, I will do that. Until next week, look after yourselves, have a good life, and do that for me, Rose. Have a fantastic life. Terrible northern accent, but you know where it's going. Also, I want to call it upon as well. I don't know, there was that bit in that Returnal clip of the week where I'm talking about, it's Sophie that's dying. That's a clip. That's a quote from The Lodger when James Corden's character was like, somebody's dying up there. It's Sophie. Sophie's dying up there. And he runs up the stairs because he recognises the voice. That's where that came from. I just like to call out Doctor Who quotes now and again. So I'm going to shut up now. Too much talking and let's get enough skin flip here on Flash FM. And I'm flashing it, baby. Woo, the girls are not out. So that's not how the quote goes. I'm just going to shut up now because I'm talking too much now. We do need to undust. So, once I did a phone call with someone, it was 30 seconds long and I had to go, hey, Nicole, how's it going? Yeah, I'm doing really good. And we watched wrestling. It was an amazing chair with Chelsea. He won and it was really bad because then Edge cashed in the money in the back and I couldn't believe it. I was so upset. So I can talk really fast if one needs be. But now I'm going to zip it. Or anyway, catch you all next week. See you on the flip side. Kit Kats later.